Welcome to A Taste of BPCC. I'm your host Alex Richardson. This is our Chef Andrew. What are we making today?
Well, today, Alex, we're going to be making a chicken tikka masala. It's a red curry. Anybody can make it at home. It's pretty easy. You got yourself some diced up onions here. We've got some minced garlic, some cumin, salt, a little bit of cayenne, some turmeric, some cinnamon, and some coriander, as well as some paprika and a little bit of curry powder. Here we've got tomato sauce to help thin everything out, and some cream to bring it that right color.
Everybody catch all that? That is a lot of ingredients. So chicken tikka masala, you said?
Yeah.
That is a mouthful. So you said, like, just going over again, because that, like I said, that was a lot of ingredients that we got there. It's gonna be a really good dish. You said we got minced onions, we got garlic. I wanted to ask you about that garlic. How did you prepare it? Because I know there's like a special way that I use to make my garlic, where you can put it in a small Tupperware container and shake it vigorously, and it will take the husk off the garlic, and you can chop it out there without having to get your finger sticky. Did you do that?
My favorite way to take the husk off is you actually put the entire clove down under your knife and you just press it with the back of your hand, and it'll crush it, and then you can just pull that husk right off, chunk it in the trash, no problem.
Okay, so that's two different ways that you can prepare your garlic without having to get your hands stick, because no one likes stinky garlic hands. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. What's the first thing that you add to the pot?
All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we've got some butter over here. I've got it pre-melted.
At what temperature
get a fire
do you put
going?
that at? About a medium high?
We're gonna go about medium high to it.
All right.
And basically what we're gonna be doing is we're sauteing our onion.
You always want to put those in first.
Put those in first. They take the longest time to cook because they're so thick and crunchy. So you want to put your onions in there.
You usually go to like they're translucent?
Yeah, translucent, just a little bit see-through, not quite all the way though.
Yeah. All right. So how long does it take for onions to saute, get a little that translucency?
For that translucency, you're probably looking about anywhere from maybe 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how high your heat is.
Pretty quickly. You're not gonna be sitting at the stove for too long.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna be sitting at the stove all day trying to get this onions to turn that color.
So while we're doing that, do you have anything to say about like why you went into the culinary field?
I've actually worked in 3 different restaurants at this point, and so the reason that
How old are you?
23.
Oh, that's a lot for 23.
The reason I'm actually going into the culinary field is I worked in those, and even when I was working 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., it's always been fun.
What are the restaurants you worked in?
I've worked at Orion's Buffet over in Ruston, Louisiana, as well as an Italian cafe over that way.
Oh, nice.
And then I worked at a burger joint on the boardwalk here in town.
Oh, which one was that? Was that Buffalo?
Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers. I love Fuddruckers. It's a fun name to say, for sure.
Oh, right.
So, you said 3 to 5 minutes. I have no idea how much we just talked there. Probably only like about a minute. But you can already really smell the onions. It's pretty good.
I was about to say, yeah, those smells are going to come out. It's going to get real fragrant real fast, and that's probably the best part about making curry, is the whole house is going to smell great.
For at least a good hour afterwards.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to be hungry before it's even made.
That's usually how I cook. But
and you can see now we're starting to kind of get that translucent color on there.
Perfect.
So now we're actually going to take, and we've got 2 cloves of minced garlic here we're going to add in on top of that.
Oh, nice.
And we're gonna cook this just so you can start to really smell the garlic.
It's amazing how like onion and garlic is usually considered the most pungent food to cook with, yet it smells the best when you actually start cooking with it.
Oh yeah, no, and they do, but once you start to cook with them, those smells, they develop and they mature and they become so much better.
Oh yeah.
And it adds to the taste of the food.
And I'm assuming when it goes into the curry, it's just gonna help explode.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna get that little bit of, just every now and again, you'll get a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic as you're taking that curry and eating it, and it tastes absolutely wonderful.
What's the next thing we add, or how much longer do we have on this before we add?
So you see how you can start to smell the garlic now?
Yeah, I can definitely smell it.
So now we're actually gonna start to add our spices in, okay? So we've got about 1.5 tablespoons of cumin.
Cumin, all right.
Yep, we're gonna put that in. We've got about 1.5 teaspoons of salt there.
Always salt.
Add that. We got 1.5 teaspoons of cayenne we're gonna throw in there.
Spicy.
3 teaspoons of ginger.
Nice.
It's gonna help give it kind of a clean taste to it.
Oh yeah, definitely it helps the palate.
About 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon.
Nice.
It's gonna give it another bright taste. And then we got 3/8 teaspoon of turmeric. You don't wanna use too much because it'll make it super sweet.
Oh, okay.
But it also gives it that nice orange color we're looking for.
I never really had too much turmeric. I didn't know it made sweet. For some reason, I thought it was always on the same thing as like ginger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you see them together a lot, and especially in Indian food and stuff, turmeric's a real big deal.
So speaking of Indian, curry's from India. Is there a specific reason you like curry that you chose this dish for today's episode?
I've just always been a real big fan of Indian food, and so me and my mom have done curry at the house several times.
Nice.
And it's anytime you make it, like I said, it tastes good, it smells good, And it's just, it kind of brings you back to Louisiana where all of our foods, it's warm and it makes you feel relaxed.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. It's still going to be that warm kind of bring home food that relaxes everything.
You said that you can make curry with your mom. I've made curry with my dad. He's from England.
Oh, okay.
And so like, you know, the English always like have a good love for Indian food.
Yeah.
So I completely understand you. They're cooking with your parent, making this kind of like home style food.
Yeah.
So it's, and you're, even what you said with Louisiana, who's argue that a gumbo isn't just like a different kind of curry?
Yeah, I mean, they're extremely close. They're both going to be a thick, almost a little thicker than a super stew, then you're going to pour it over rice.
I do love me a good thick curry or a good thick gumbo.
All right, at this point, we're actually going to take, we've got some tomato sauce here.
All right, try to help add some more moisture to it.
Yeah, it's going to add some moisture. It's going to add a little bit redder color. It's about 2 cans here, two small cans.
2 cans. All right.
All right, we're going to dump that in there. Mix that around.
Oh, you hear? I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear it. It's getting hot in there, and it's tasting good already.
All right, so you're going to mix that around, and that's going to have to cook for a little bit so that those spices and stuff can get all through the tomatoes. So while we do that, we're actually going to sear off our chicken.
Chicken?
Yeah, I've got it right here in the refrigerator behind you.
All right.
All right, so we've got chicken. We've already got it pre-cut into chunks.
Perfect.
And we've got a pre-oiled pan right here. We're going to turn the heat on that.
About what temperature on that?
Once again, you want to go up to medium, about medium-high on that, because you want to get that sear on the outside. You don't want it to really cook the inside too much.
Yeah.
The reason you get the sear on the outside is going to hold those juices in there. And that way, when you actually cook it in the curry and stuff, when you get that chicken, it's going to still have that pop of, you know, juice and flavor to it.
I was going to ask, do you season it before you throw it in, or do you let the curry
actually, yes,
itself?
we are going to season it.
Okay.
We've got just some pre-made curry powder here. You can get this at pretty much any supermarket.
Nice.
And you just sprinkle that on top, and that's actually going to give the chicken kind of that yellow color that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it's still going to, you know, give it some of that curry flavor as it's going.
All right. See, I didn't know if you were just going to throw it in, like have the curry flavor it itself, like with the sauce, but having it go into the pan itself.
Yeah.
It's
when you flavor. Yeah, you flavor each section like this, and it'll actually bring out the entire flavor of the dish.
Oh yeah.
So see, you can hear it there even when it hits that pan.
I love when meat hits a hot frying pan. It sounds really good. Yeah, always wash your hands off while you're cooking. You don't want raw chicken mixing in with the rest of your ingredients. That's salmonella. That's bad for you.
All right. So.
How long would you say it goes to simmer?
For this to simmer?
Yeah, for
this is probably they're gonna end about the same time. About the time the chicken is ready, we'll actually start dumping everything in here. It'll bring everything together.
All right. I'll see over here you have one more ingredient. When does that come into?
Okay, that's gonna be the cayenne. We're actually, that's not cayenne, it's paprika.
Oh, okay.
It's a sweet Spanish paprika, and we'll be adding that towards the end. It's actually gonna go in there with the cream. Mm-hmm. And it's going to help. It helps give it kind of a sweeter taste to the end, and it develops the flavors a lot.
Okay, so that's just gonna be like one little surprise left at the end of the recipe.
Exactly. It's just kind of that last little pop of flavor.
Gotcha. And so, I don't know if you said it. I got a little confused. How much longer do you say we got on this?
All right. This chicken's probably going to take another 2 minutes to sear. You see how it starts to get that kind of white coloration to the outside?
Gotcha.
You just want to get it all done up like that.
All right. So while that is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and go to break.
It's about me. It's about me.
And me.
And me.
It's about me.
And me.
It's about me.
It's about me.
And me.
It's about me.
It's about you.
We're back from break. The chicken is done cooking. And you said next step is adding it all together.
Yep, now we're throwing everything together. We're going to take the chicken, you're going to put it right there in the sauce, and anything that's in that pan, let that all drip down in there with it. That's just more chicken flavor.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You want all that in there. You want to catch all that goodness. All right? Now, once we've done that, we're actually going to come over here. We've got a tablespoon of sweet Spanish paprika we're going to throw in there.
All right. Is there a reason you add that in afterwards? You don't want that to cook with the sauce?
The reason you add it in afterwards is it just kind of brings all the tastes together, and it kind of does kick up that sweetness a little bit, which goes good with the chicken.
All right, yeah, I like a good sweet curry too.
All right, and the last thing we've got here now is heavy whipping cream. We're going to add about 1.5 cups of this. to our sauce. This is going to help thin it out a little bit, but it's also going to make it creamier and kind of give it that good orange color that we want.
And you want whipping cream. You don't want to use like just regular milk or something like that? Or
no, you want a heavy cream. Because the heavy cream, it's going to help cook it in there. And the milk's so thin, it's not going to bring it together right.
Yeah, gotcha.
It'll make your sauce too thin.
Ooh, that looks, it's already looking good. I can't wait for that.
You mix it around, it's going to get that nice bright orange coloration.
So while you're stirring that around, I wanted to ask you, you said you worked at 3 restaurants already. What made you want to go for culinary at BPCC? You already had experience.
There's a few certifications and stuff, and I knew that there were still things that I needed to learn. I mean, I've worked in 3 restaurants, but I know that I'm not up to the highest level that I can be, and so I came to BPCC.
You can always learn more, yeah.
Exactly, and I've worked with people who've told me how good of a program it is here, and so I decided to come enroll at this school and see just how good it can make me.
Oh yeah, and like as we can see here now, you're making some delicious food. Apparently BPCC's doing a good job.
Oh yeah, they're teaching us all kinds of good stuff.
How long do we have till this is all simmered and cooked through?
All right, now this is going to be the last step, and with this, all we got to do is pretty much just let it sit here, and it's going to simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes. Basically just till your chicken's cooked all the way through.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to eat uncooked chicken.
Nobody wants to eat raw chicken.
Well then we're going to let that simmer, and then we're going to go to another quick break, and we'll come back when everything's done. We can have a good old taste testing. We'll see you then.
I teach a wide variety of things, including film editing, directing, documentary making, lighting. I fell in love with art as a young child, and it's just always something that has stuck with me.
You know, I love the whole process of going on set, going back into the editing room, telling a story. That's what I really love about film.
I got laid off from my job, and I figured this was the perfect opportunity to go to school to get a degree for it.
As a kid, I was really into geeky stuff. I couldn't think of anything else that I would rather do.
They really provide you with the equipment and the necessary tools in order to advance in a career, especially in communications field.
Well, one thing that really drew me to video production especially is it's just a way to reach people. And as someone who likes to communicate with other people, I felt that mass communication, especially broadcasting, was a tool that I could use.
You get some hands-on experience. They've got good stuff to work with. They really know what they're doing, and they're willing to pass it on.
When our students leave Bossier Parish Community College, they are equipped to get a job immediately, or they can move on to a 4-year degree.
We're back from break. Everything's ready. We're ready for a taste test. Let's come on over and put it right up on the rice.
All right, Alex, and as you see, once it's simmered for those 20 minutes, it starts to really break down. Your chicken becomes tender and it's just fall apart.
Color has changed so much.
Oh yeah, it gets that deep orange color to it. You pour it right there on the plate.
That is delicious looking.
And you're gonna serve it with rice.
Yeah, rice always.
You always wanna serve it with rice, and just basics on cooking rice. If you have a cup of rice, you want 2 cups of water and a little bit of salt in the water.
Oh yeah.
Boil the water, cook it for 20 minutes, let it simmer after that.
If you don't have a rice cooker, what's another good way to do it?
Main way I do it is I just take a normal saucepan with a lid on it. You put your water in there, get it boiling, add your rice, throw the top on it and kind of cut it down to low so it's simmering.
Yeah.
Let it simmer for 20 minutes and by the time it comes out, it's done.
Yeah, rice is one of the easiest things to cook, so you should be able to be good. All right, so what's the best way to go tackle this beast?
My personal preference with this is you get yourself a little scoop of rice and you get some of the scoop of the sauce, maybe a chunk of chicken, and take a bite.
All right, well, let's dig in. I'm gonna go right for this one right here, where everything's starting to already mix together.
Oh yeah.
All right. I can really taste that sweetness. Oh, and there's a cayenne.
Yeah, you can hit the sweetness, you can feel the spiciness at the back of your throat, but you can also taste all those other spices just like dancing around your mouth.
And spices aren't a bad thing. Even if you don't like spices, they're really good. They're good for you. They get your endorphins up, and that's actually good for your body. And I'm probably gonna go in for a second bite, even if it's a little spicy. Because I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm also just a glutton, so. Yeah, you're right, the heavy cream definitely,
Oh yeah, you need the heavy cream. It helps mellow everything out. It gives it that good thickness to it, a good texture.
Well, this has been absolutely delicious, and I've learned a new curry recipe that I will be taking home. It was great cooking with you today, Chef Andrew.
All right.
And this was your host, Alex Richardson. I will see you back next time on Taste of Bitsy. And remember, stay in the kitchen.